Hi guys, how you doing? How you been? What's up? What's up? What's good with everybody? Okay, you know what? Every time I come um, on this thing is always the same excuses. Yeah, okay, and I cannot stress out enough. Inconsistency is my biggest problem. Inconsistency and procrastinating, really. But enough about me. Hope you guys been doing okay. Today's segment, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to share my thoughts and my opinion on losses and your blessings. So let's get into it. Sometimes in life, you're presented with opportunities, or you meet some people, and sometimes at the beginning, the opportunity or the people, the situation in itself can present itself to be something awesome or something amazing. And it very well may have been for that point in time in your life. But we have to be able to recognize when we have outgrown situations. We have to recognize when we have outgrown certain people in our lives. No matter how much you may love or care about a person, no matter how much you may have thought that you loved whatever position you were in. But when you get a point in your life where you're starting to feel a little stagnant, as if your life is at a complete standstill, it's time to move on. It's time to change scenery, or maybe it's simply time to take a break. Because we can burn ourselves out trying to be superhuman, trying to hold on to something or to someone that we have outgrown. And as sad as it is, and as hurtful as it may be at times, we have to let them go. We have to let them go, especially in a situation where you're in a relationship with somebody, be it platonic or romantic. Sometimes you have to count your losses. You cannot be the only person fighting for something to survive. You cannot be the only person putting in the effort, always apologizing, whether you are right or wrong in a situation, because you are trying to, preserve a friendship. You're trying to hold on to a relationship, whether it's out of comfort, whether it's out of fear of starting over, whether it is out of, familiarity. We are, especially women, we sometimes stay in situations longer than we are supposed to. We are somewhat conflicted on whether we should hold on or whether we should let go of said situation, even when it seems like it is one-sided, even when it seems like everything that you do, your time, your effort, your energy, the compassion, like when your energy is not being matched. It's not being matched in return. But somehow we feel, again, women, we feel like we have to hang on in there a little longer. We feel like we have to be superhuman and fight for something or someone that is not necessarily fighting for us. So we have to be able to count our losses. Yes, it's going to be painful as hell. It's going to hurt like crazy. But you know the saying, when someone show you who they are, believe them the first time. That is a true saying. But unfortunately, with some of us females, we feel like just because we're comfortable or familiar with something or someone, we feel like if we put in our best efforts, that we can change the situation around. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that is always the case. I'm not saying that in some instances it doesn't happen. But my thing is, why do we have to go through the struggles of it? Because my belief is this, and I stand to be corrected, okay? I have no qualms about being proven wrong, okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, the biggest room in any house is the room for improvement. But again, this is my personal opinion, my perspective. My thing is, especially in regards of relationship, again, be it platonic or romantic, if somebody doesn't see your value and doesn't see or understand your worth at the very beginning upon meeting you, they're not going to see it no matter how hard you try. No matter how hard you try, they are not going to see the value of you, especially when they would treat you like you're nothing. But because you like them, because you see the potential in them, and probably because, maybe because the life you have fantasized about you and them, when they fuck up and you're quick to forgive them, from the very first time that you have forgiven a person, they feel like, oh, okay, this person doesn't recognize her own worth. This person doesn't even know her own value. So if they don't know it, why should I see it? Why should I honor it? Why should I value them if they don't value themselves? And listen, we're human. We are imperfect human beings. Yes, we are going to make mistakes. We are bound to make mistakes. It is inevitable. At the same token, you also have to teach people how to treat you. Because from the first time you have been mistreated, whether you were lied to, whether you were cheated on, whether they mentally or verbally abused you, regardless of what the scenario may or may not be, from that first time that it happened and you don't nip that shit in the bud, that is what's going to continue to happen. Because they're going to look at it like, oh, okay, if I got away with it the first time, I can get away with it a second time, and a third, and a fourth, and so on. We have to teach people how to treat us. We have to set boundaries. And if we can't set boundaries with people, and if the around around us, after said boundary have been set, if they cannot respect and honor those boundaries, then you must keep it moving. No matter how much it may hurt you, no matter how much you may like the person, you have to move on, because no matter how much you think or wish or pray that the situation is going to get better. It's going to seem okay for a while. It's going to seem okay for a while. But the next time around that they do or say something, they're not going to take your feelings into consideration because you forgave them the first time. They're going to feel like, oh, I could always get away with it. They're going to talk fast, they're going to talk slick, and they're going to talk smooth to get you to forgive them. So in the situations where, and the thing is, I'm not saying to give up right away on a friendship or a relationship or what's not. But what I am saying is you have to recognize when said situation has come to an end. You have to be able to recognize when a situation comes to an end and cut your losses. We need to be able to recognize when a situation is dead, to stop giving it CPR in order to revive it. Because even if we revive it, it's only going to be short-lived. You're still going to feel like you're putting in more of the work. You're still going to feel like you're putting in more effort than the other person. And nobody should ever be in a situation where they feel like their energy is not being matched, where their energy is not being reciprocated. Because the minute you feel like, okay, I'm doing too much, this person is not reciprocating, this person don't feel for me the way that I feel for them, we need to let it go. And sometimes when we try to hold on to situations longer than we should have, when we refuse to let a dead situation go, do you realize that we are hindering our blessings? We are hindering our blessings from coming into our lives. So it's like there's this blockage. This is an old saying also, when they say we are our own greatest stumbling block. And it's true. Whether it's in our attitudes, whether it's in our perceived way of thinking, whether it's us holding on to something, a situation, no matter what it is, the longer you hold on to it, and the longer you are more closed-minded, you are blocking your blessings from entering your life. You are preventing yourself from receiving what could possibly be the greatest and the best thing that could ever happen in your life, because we're afraid of letting go, because we just want to hold on to something or to someone that is not holding on to us. We have to be able to count our losses again. Sometimes when a person is okay with losing you, and 9 out of 10 times when they are okay of losing you is because, as far as they're concerned, your presence in their life has no value. Your presence in their life holds no weight. You are not important to them. So losing you doesn't seem like that big of a deal. And furthermore, sometimes, when people say, you always thought this person was going to be there, so you neglected to take care of it. Sometimes people, when you have forgiven somebody so much, when you have forgiven any situation so much, when you haven't walked away from a situation where deep down in your heart, you know that you should have walked away from ages ago. The other person in your life developed this idea that, oh, okay, I got him or her where I want them. I can do whatever I want. They're not going to leave. I can mistreat and disrespect them mentally, emotionally, sometimes physically, as much as I want. They're not leaving. They're not leaving me. They can't find anyone better than me. They can't do better than me. They're not going anywhere. They are locked in. And it's crazy that people will feel that way. So as the more you forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive the bullshit, the less respect they have for you and the less they value you. So we have to be able to recognize what the situation is, take it at face value for what it is, and let it go. Because for anybody that is not afraid of losing you, you should not be afraid of letting them go. Because if they can't appreciate your presence, let them feel your absence. Let them feel your absence. And and it's unfortunate that sometimes, in many instances, people will let it come to a situation where you have to cut them out of your life completely. Go cold turkey. Cut them off your social media, off your phone, any form of contact that you and whoever may have had. It's unfortunate that we sometimes let it get so bad that the only time that we will recognize or understand the presence of someone's life in your life, sometimes it is sad that we have to lose something before we can appreciate it. That is mind-boggling and crazy to me. Why must we wait until we lose something before we can value and honor it? And the thing is, we have to take accountability because it's our fault, because we've allowed it to happen and to continue for so long. For so long. It's like we had gotten to a point where we have taken the other person's life and placed it above our very own. It's almost like we have taken these things, these people, these situations. They have consumed us so much that we take the very same thing that is hurting us, and we blindly put it up on a pedestal. And because we have placed these things, these people, these situations on a pedestal at such high regards, that we start to devalue ourselves, and we start to make these people feel as though they are way more important than you are. And so they don't value you. And at some point we have to take a step back and say, hold up, wait a minute, what the hell am I doing? Sometimes we have to check ourselves mentally, sometimes look in the mirror and check yourself verbally and remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember your self-worth. Remember your value, because I promise you, the second you remember who you are and you decide that, hey, I'm not going to put up with this mess anymore. I'm not going to put up with this BS anymore. Then it's almost like the scales. It's almost like the scales would have fallen from your eyes, and you start to look at the situation, or you start to look at the person with a brand new set of eyes, and you start to really see them for who and what they are. And it's like, bye. Nothing you do or say can make me feel for you what I once felt for you, because now I'm seeing you for who you are. And sometimes if it's genuine and you start to take a stand for yourself and they recognize it, they're gonna want to, I guess, manipulate you. No, if it's genuine, it won't be manipulation. Okay, I'm gonna correct myself. If the other side genuinely cares about you, because sometimes people don't know how to show emotions. Sometimes people are not verbal with their emotions, but they will show you through their actions. But even with that, sometimes you need to hear it. So if it's genuine and they see that you start to take a step back away from them, they're going to then pick up the slack, and they're going to catch their senses, and they're going to straighten up and fly right and do what they feel they need to do to prevent you from leaving their life. But if that mother effer is toxic, baby, be it male or female, when they notice that, oh, okay, well, I can't, get in her head the way that I used to or whatever, these toxic mother effers, they are going to lie and to try whatever they can to manipulate you to get you back. But this is where we have to use our discernment in said situations, where we have to be able to, to tell whether this person is being genuine in their deeds, in their actions, in their speech, in trying to preserve what we have to move it a step further, or is this person trying to manipulate and bullshit me? This is where your spirit of discernment, you will have to lean into your spirit of discernment and, and letting God speak to you and being able to recognize the genuine from the toxic fakeness. Okay? And if it has proven time and time again of it being toxic and fake, don't fall for it. Let it go. Walk away. Don't bother. Okay? Because again, especially when they have shown you that they are okay with losing you. Especially when they have shown you time and time again. And the thing is, not only have they shown you, but if you can play back the conversations that you and some of these people may have had, they have indirectly been telling you or telling us that they don't particularly care for us the way that we care for them. But because we be so blinded, we be so blinded by our very own creation, the image that we create of them in our minds. Or sometimes we are so blinded by the potential that we think they possess, that we overlooked a lot of the toxic red flags in the way they spoke and in the way they treated us. But I can almost guarantee that if you play all the situations and some of these conversations back, you will see where they were telling you that I could care less if I have you in my life. I could care less if you walk away. They will literally tell on themselves and let it be known that, hey, your presence, or you have no place in my life. Your presence doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. So losing you, technically I won't be losing much. We have to pay attention because they will literally tell us, but we're not paying attention because we see what we wanted to see. We heard what we wanted to hear. You know, if a person is okay with hurting you, if a person is okay with losing you, we must then in turn be more than okay with letting them go. Because why are we friends? Why are we friends? Why are we in a relationship? If you're so okay with losing me, why are we in a relationship? Why are we together? Why? Because it's not adding up. It's not making sense. But in their warped minds, the more we allow them to do whatever they want to do to us or with us, is going to continue. Okay? Because we allow it. So when you come to the realization that that situation is no longer serving you in a positive way, when you come to the realization that this situation is making you more unhappy and more depressed and is sucking the life out of you, it's time to let it go. It's time to cut the cord and let it go. I know it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. It's going to hurt like hell. But the bright side of it all is that you're closing one chapter of your life and you're opening up a new one. A new one that has the potential of being amazingly beautiful, more so than the previous chapter. You know, because it would be wrong to say that, possibly like the previous chapter that you're about to close didn't have its beautiful moments, right? It may be questionable if it was real. It's questionable that those moments, were they real or was it just a put on to keep me there? But they were beautiful all the same. But when it's time to end that chapter of your life, when it's time to turn the page, we must do so boldly and courageously. Is courageously even a word? Well, if it ain't, it is now. Because I can't remember. But yeah, we have to gather up our strength and our courage to stand on our decision and to turn that page and start a new chapter in our life where we are basically preparing ourselves for what's to come. So sometimes cutting your losses is not always a bad thing. Sometimes for the betterment of yourself, for your mental and your emotional health, cutting your losses can be one of the best things that you could ever do for yourself. So I'm going to end here, but stay tuned for part 2, where we talk about counting our blessings. And like always, I appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to share with your friends, and pray for me so that I can be more consistent to put out more content out there for you guys. Okay? And of course, you guys are more than welcome to leave comments. You guys are more than welcome to, ask me questions, any topics that you guys may want me to share my opinion on, to discuss, or whatever. You guys are more than welcome to do so. So please share with your friends, share with your family members who you feel like, this may be helpful or beneficial to them. Please share. And tune in next time for True Reflections. I love you guys. Bye.